So yeah, the January transfer window was almost over. Had a couple players leave that I was expecting to leave. Had a couple players leave that I wasn't expecting to leave. Had not one but two player revolts in the space of 3 weeks. One of which I'm still trying to figure out what the hell happened. And yeah, we're playing Bayern Munich in the first knockout round of the Champions League. So fun times. My name's FM20. It's time to get real. So here we are. After beating Man City and losing to Betis, we played a friendly at Malaga and we thumped them 5-2. And then the fun started in January. We beat Valencia 2-1 thanks to a brace of goals by Lucas Fabian in extra time. We totally and completely FM'd them. We didn't deserve this win. I will be the first to admit it. Even though we had 22 shots, 11 on target, and a decent possession advantage, they played a better game than we did all the way through. It doesn't. The ratings do not reflect the fact that they literally bossed us from beginning to end. We played in the Supercopa semifinal against Barcelona. I played not exactly a rotated squad. I mean, they're all first teamers, but we got pipped by an Dani Alonso own goal in the 86th minute. It was really kind of annoying, but the board wasn't too upset that we lost this game. They weren't expecting anything from us, and frankly, I wasn't too upset about losing it, because if we'd won, it would have been yet another game in January. Against Atletico Madrid, we thumped them 4-0. Barnabashvili a goal, Resnicek a goal, Maria a goal, and Israel a goal. Against Athletic Club, we beat them 2-1 thanks to a brace of goals by Robert Maria. In the Copa del Rey third round match, we played Mirandes, who are a Segunda Division B, so they're fourth tier. And we beat them 1-0. This was... I didn't exactly take the team seriously, and it showed. We needed a Matasevic penalty kick to see us through. Otherwise, we probably would have lost it. And then against Zaragoza in La Liga, we won 2-1 thanks to a goal by Matasevic and a goal by Robert Maria. We got our Copa del Rey fourth round match coming up today. We're going to play that, but after we do the transfer roundup. So it's probably, knock on wood, going to be a fairly short episode. Currently in the league, we are 2 points behind Real Madrid. Barcelona has stormed back. They are tied for second. We have a better goal differential than they do. Jeremy Sutter leads us with 18 goals. Dani Alonso at 7.57 rating and 12 assists. Sutter has 4 Players of the Match awards. Barnabashvili and Christian each have 8 yellow cards. Okay, transfers. And I gotta lower this just a little bit. On the outs, Charles Ely Mathis went to Beijing. They didn't make the best offer for him, but that's where he wanted to go. Middle of the month, Barcelona made an unsolicited offer for Mahmoud. Now, two things here. They came nowhere close to meeting his release clause, which was $98 million. And 99 times out of 100, I will not transfer a very good player to another very good team in the same league I am playing in. And so I refused the offer. The locker room went ape. I kid you not. Like 2/3 of it were like, FC Barcelona's coming after Mahmoud. You really ought to let him go. And I'm thinking to myself, you mean the same FC Barcelona who's a spot behind us in La Liga, who we have a decent chance of topping this year? Mahmoud's been with us for a really long time. We picked him up as a youth player from Pyramids in Egypt for $9.75 million. I spent a ton of money for him 5 years ago because I thought he could turn into something. And he has turned into something. He's turned into a 4.5-star current, 4.5-star potential defensive left back. He is a quality player. He was on an important player contract for us. He's grown by leaps and bounds. They offered him a ton more money than I was paying him at the time. But, that's okay. So he came back. He's like, I really wanted to go. I'm like, well, they have to meet this valuation of you. And he said, oh, how much? I countered with 75, and he came back with like 42. And we eventually settled on like 52 or something like that. Barcelona made another offer, and I got them to go on 54 million straight up with 58 million based on international appearances. And then After he left, I kid you not, like 5 players who were all part of the you have to let him go because Barcelona is coming for him, all came to me and were like, we're upset you let Mahmoud go. I couldn't make this up if I tried. Predrag Smilkovic was one of the guys arguing for him to go. And then after I let him go, came to me to complain that I'd let him go. And then Ricardo Piccione, who is just one of those defensive center backs I picked up and has never really fulfilled his potential, went out on loan again. This is his last season here with us, which, well, it's his next to last season. I might be able to sell him off in the summer transfer window. He's gotten better, but he's not a La Liga player. On the ends, the youth movement, the 2030 youth movement has started. First in, Victor Okoro from Heartland in South Africa? Or no, Nigeria. Midfielder. 2-star current ability, 4.5-star potential ability. Plays a really good deep-lying playmaker. I saw him when I did my search for youth players. Driven personality, good acceleration, good natural fitness, excellent determination, decent teamwork, good work rate, solid passing, solid technique, solid first touch, and at 16 years old or 18 years old, he'll go out on loan for the next 2 or 3 years and come back. It's going to be the Matasevic route. Unless he gets playing time here, which he probably won't because of the quality of midfielders I have. He will go out on loan for a couple of years, come back an even better player, and then be ready to step in full time. What is this? Clinical in front of goal. Okay. But for €1.5 million, I thought that was a really good deal. Amin Slimanu from Chabab Riyadi Belouiziad in... I have no idea where that is. Algeria? I'm almost positive it's Nigeria because my African scouts did a ton of work the past 6 months of the season. Again, another midfielder, but he also plays defensive right back. But he's a pure ball-winning midfielder. He's 18 years old, 1.5-star current ability, 4-star potential ability. I picked him up primarily because of the 20 aggression, the 17 determination, and the 16 work rate. I did what I usually do when these players are out there. I make a trial offer for them. If the team says, yeah, we'll let him go on trial, I bring him in for 2 weeks, see how he is. If he meets what I expect of him, then I will sign him. And because I had, Algeria, because I have so much money in the bank, I'm willing to pay $1 million, $1.5 million for a future prospect, especially one who's as good as this guy is now at 18. I'm switching to a deep line playmaker, ball-winning midfielder combination in the midfield. I think that works best for my squad, and the pair does what I expect him to do in my 4-2-4. Although, to be honest, I also am thinking of a formation change, but given some of the players we've lost. But we'll figure that out next season. Decent physicals, really good mentals where they count. Technicals, he could be better. I'll be the first to admit that. His marking's okay, his tackling's okay, his technique and his passing and things like that could use some improvement, and that's what we're working on. But again, for €1 million, you can't really go wrong there, especially when you have 90 million in the bank. It's a risk, but it's one of those low risk, high rewards. Bogdan Kostadinovic. Okay. Comes to us from Croatia. 17 years old. Attacking midfielder, but I'm going to retrain him to be probably a winger on the left. Okay physicals, okay mentals, okay technicals. The big reason I picked him up was because his first touch is good, his technique is good, and he's solid everywhere else, especially as a 17-year-old. He's only going to get better. He's 1.5-star current ability, 4-star potential ability. Get him into the training program, have him work on the things that we know he can improve on, especially like his crossing and his passing and his technique and things like that. His work rate is nice, his aggression, bravery, all the other things I look at, they're all solid. He has one attribute in red, and that's his marking. But he's a center mid by trade. That's okay. I'm going to retrain him to be a winger on the left, or an inverted winger on the left. He comes deep to get the ball, which I think should do good with that role. We'll have to wait and see. But other than that, he's a solid all-around player. Even if he doesn't see first, he will at least be a squad player for us in the future. He came in for 1.5 going to 1.8 based on international appearances. He's been capped on the under-19 squad for Croatia. Ahmed Adel, my scout, found in Egypt. And he came to us on a free. Defensive mid who I can retrain as a midfielder. That's one of the things I'm planning on doing. 1-star current ability, 3.5-star potential ability. I got him just because of potential. He's got 17 teamwork. He's got 18 bravery. The determination 9 is a little bit on the low side. The off the ball is kind of bad. Technically, he could be a lot better, but 11 marking, 15 tackling is nice. Physically, solid if unspectacular. The 16 natural fitness is really going to do him well here. He's 18 years old. He's one of those guys I feel I can loan out 2 or 3 years, and I'm not losing anything on him. I brought him in on a free. At the very least, I can turn, at the very least, if I turn around and sell him for nothing, yeah, we're losing what we paid in salary, but I expect he could be a solid contributor a few years down the road. Next in, Antonio Agosto from Botafogo. With Mahmoud leaving and Mathis leaving, and I had a couple of injuries that kind of took it out of the whole January schedule was just a complete. Especially because I played the Man City game and the Betis game last night, and those just absolutely took it out of me. It was probably a mistake logging on today due to the transfer window. But Antonio Agosto, we picked up from Botafogo. 4-star current ability, 4-star potential ability, only 14.5 million euros. He's a defensive midfielder, ball-winning midfielder, but we're playing him at the midfield position. I'm not too happy with how Christian's doing. He's getting playing time for us, but I felt I could do better, and I wanted somebody I knew I could keep on the squad, and Botafogo had put him out there. He's 23 years old. He's equally good on the left foot and the right foot. He's not the best jumper, but physically, he's solid. Mentally, he is absolutely phenomenal. 17 aggression, 19 bravery, 17 concentration, 14 determination, 17 teamwork, 16 work rate. He's a great tackler and marker. He's a really good free kick taker. Everything else technically is solid. I can improve on some of that. He's probably not going to get better in most areas, but for a ball-winning midfielder, he's really, really good. I mean, the skills he needs to be a ball-winning midfielder. The 16 tackling, the aggression, anticipation, bravery is nice. Teamwork and work rate is nice. Agility, pace, strength, stamina, they're all nice. He is a solid ball-winning midfielder. I just have to retrain him to get comfortable in midfield, and I'll be quite happy. And then last but not least, Kilian Heidenfelter. With Mahmoud leaving, that leaves Sirac and Ale as my best defensive left backs. Ale is still unhappy, even though he's gotten playing time. Kilian Heidenfelter comes in as a complete wingback. 2-star current ability, 4.5-star potential ability, 19 years old, solid physically, okay mentally, and pretty good technically as well. It's one of those things, honestly, if I could get him next season full time, I just may do that. Sirac is wanted by a couple of other teams, and he's been making noises about wanting to leave. He comes to us from Bayern, which means he's not going to be able to play in the Champions League for us. So, there's that. So one of the other things I completely missed out on was I have a habit of, when I'm looking at my roster, not having the B squad and the under-19s turned on. So when I was looking at potential holes I had, I completely missed the fact that on my under-19 squad, I got Rune Tollefson, who is 1.5-star current ability, 5-star potential ability. He is a midfielder, but I'm retraining him as a winger on the right. He can also play a really good midfielder as well if I wanted him to. Juan Luis Blanco is a very good midfielder, center mid, but he's also a deep lying playmaker as well. And then the players I have out on loan, Anders Brodersen is a defensive left back, 1.5-star current ability, 4.5, 5-star potential ability, 17 years old, so he'll get playing time next season for sure. Solid physically, okay mentally. Technically, could be better, but he'll get a lot better with playing time. He got injured while out on loan. And what does he have? It was twisted ankle, and it's been one of those things where he's been out for like 4 weeks. Then Antonio Costa, who is a defensive midfielder, also a ball-winning midfielder, but I'm going to retrain him to be a ball-playing defender at defensive center back when he comes back. So, we've got some quality depth waiting for us on the under-19s. The B squad's the B squad. There's a couple of okay players there who might turn into something, but I highly, highly doubt it. Senior squad, we're doing okay there. Moreno Ajayi, who is the player we brought in and then turned around and loaned back out, is the other midfielder who will be here for depth the next few years. Malo's wanted. He's not going anywhere. He's wanted by Arsenal of all people. Good God, just a second. Okay, I got him up to a 26 million euro release clause. He's one of the few players I will put my foot down and say, I want that. Sirac's wanted by Eintracht Frankfurt and Levante. I would let him go to Eintracht Frankfurt, but not Levante. Matasevic's wanted by Granada. There's no way he's going to Granada. Ale is unhappy still. Schindler was wanted, but now he's not. But if you look at the squad, in terms of potential, we have got a very solid squad. If you look at the squad in terms of ability, we have got a very, very solid squad. And the nice thing is that I've got a lot of players scoring. Sutter scored 18, Maria scored 12, Matasevic scored 10, Israel scored 6, Mala scored 4, which I totally didn't expect. Resnicek has 10 assists, which I wouldn't expect either, but he's doing a job for us over on the right. He and Israel are switching out more often than not. Israel has 3. So it's been an interesting transfer window. The last 2 episodes have just been absolutely mind breakers. I swear my hairline's at least a quarter of an inch higher. That Man City game took that out of me. Took more out of me in one match than I think this entire season has. So we're still challenging for top 4, and we've got Bayern Munich coming up in our Champions League first lockout round. So what we're going to do now is we're going to play Almeria because they are a Copa del Rey 4th round opponent, and then we're going to take a break and then come back probably for Bayern Munich and Getafe. I scheduled a friendly with Lokomotiv Moscow 2 days after Getafe, but I can play a really rotated side there. We got Batiste coming up after that, so I'm okay starting my stars in Getafe, playing my B squad against Lokomotiv, and then Real Batiste playing my starters again. And then we have a nice week break between that and Celta Vigo. Then, of course, we have 3 days between Celta Vigo and Bayern, and then 4 days between them and Villarreal. So, it's been one of those things. You get European football, and you're also in your national tournaments. It gets really, really busy, really, really quick. So, that said, I'm going to check my best 11, set the reserves, and we're going to come back for a match against Almeria in the Copa del Rey in just a bit. I will say, one of the things I am doing is because Sutter is really strong on the left foot, and he's pacey, and he has okay stamina and decent strength. His dribbling is nice. His crossing is getting better. His technique is really good. His teamwork's really good. His positioning, frankly, could use some help, but we're working on that. I'm retraining to be my advanced midfielder on the left. He's going to replace Mathis. He and Harold will switch off. Unless I find somebody better than him and maybe like Matasevic leaves or Smokovic leaves, which is entirely possible in the offseason, Sutter is going to be my advanced midfielder left on the future. That gives me Maria, Matasevic, and Sutter as my primary scorers. Resnicek is the primary assist guy along with Alonso and whoever else is in the midfield. So it's a plan. As I'm fond of saying, Custer had a plan too, but I like this one. It seems to be doing well for us. So depending on what happens this offseason, though, if I can't get Heidenfelder in or seeing who else is out there in terms of left backs and right backs, I like Fernandez at the defensive right back position, but I'm thinking of a formation change. And actually, one of the things I need to do is start training the guys on it, just to get them kind of sort of familiar with it. They're playing a 5-4-1. Jared Bowen. Okay. 33 years old now. They paid $5.75 million for him. That's right. He went to Palace on a free. They turned around and sold to Newcastle for $37.5 million. They definitely got their money's worth out of that. And he didn't do much at Newcastle. He's having a really good season for Almeria, though. Any other names I recognize? Diusi. Decent, slowing down in his older age. How about their striker? 5 and 17. Yeah, they're a La Liga 2 team. So, and they're 10th. Who's leading La Liga? Valladolid, Deportivo. Okay. Ale on the throw into Maria. Back to Ale. He crosses it in. It's knocked away. Bowen has the ball. Bombs it forward to Little. He cuts inside, gets around the one defender, holds it up, takes the shot, but it's very, very wide right. That was overly ambitious. Fernandez taps it off to Lorenzo. I'm going to close this out here. All the way back to Lesueur. He bombs it forward. There's no one in an Almeria uniform there. Ale to Resnicek, back to Ale, or to Alonso, to Augusto. Brings it forward, out to Sutter on the left. Gets by the one defender. Oh, he tried tapping it over the defender so Maria could get a head on it, but something happened and they just didn't connect. That would have been a great goal if they'd scored. Oh, they just lost Juan Jose. Potential foot injury. Coming up on halftime, other than those couple of highlights, it's been a very quiet first half. We'd had 5. Well, here we go. Augusto sends it in, and Lesueur picks that up out of the air. Or gets that out of the air, I should say. And he just bombs it forward, and no one in an Almeria uniform. Heidenfelder up to Alonso. Over to Augusto. Back to Heidenfelder. Drives forward. And he's dispossessed. Lorenzo to Mihalik. Back to Lorenzo. To Nolosican. Oh, Barnabashvili stepped in front of that pass and got it back. Augusto over to Alonso. Out to Resnicek. To Maria, and Maria scores. That's another assist for Resnicek. And Maria's 13th of the season. That was well done. It was a misplay by the Almeria player. He aimed it towards Little, and Barnabashvili just jumped up in front of it and knocked it down. Nice assist by Resnicek. Maria was right there. Nice volley kick goal. Always nice to go into halftime with a lead. Augusto from outside the box. There's it in. It's knocked away. Ramirez is going to run it down. Driving forward. Well, it's 1 versus 5. He takes a shot. It hits the side of the net. Coming up on 60 minutes. Ale sends it in. Sutter's there and he scores. That was nice. Nice setup by LA. We're going to move Ale over to Joubert's spot and bring on Fernandez to take over at defensive right back. And then I think that is the only change we're going to make for now. Okay, we're coming up on 75 minutes. Augusto's getting a little tired, so we're going to bring on Christian for him. Resnicek sends it in again. Off the crossbar, knocked away by Iglesias. Corner kick for Resnicek. In the crowd, Fernandez knocks away. Bowen tries getting it, but Christian gets a foot on the ball and it goes out of bounds. Fernandez on the throw into Alonso. Back to Fernandez. To Alonso. Back to Fernandez. To Alonso. Sends it in. Sutter got behind the defense. Oh, he bounces it off. The Lesueur and Matasevic is there to get the carom and put it in the goal. Lesueur made a very nice effort to block it. He didn't catch it, though. And Matasevic was right there. That was a bit of luck. I'll be the first to admit it. Iglesias on the throw to Bowen. Oh, was Christian fouled? No, Christian fouled the other guy. Okay, who's taking this? Bowen is. Oh, Seferovic guessed right, but Bowen powered it by him. We lose the clean sheet. Looks like Seferovic kind of got a hand on the ball. Seferovic taps it up to Ale. Back to Seferovic. That was a little bit dangerous. Although as upset as Ale is with me, I wouldn't be surprised if he put the ball into the net one of these times just to hack me off. 3-1 victory. That was well done. 21 shots, 13 on target. 9-2 for them. Tell the boys a good win. We got a couple more days left on the transfer window. I don't think there's going to be any more movement. If it is, it's going to be someone like Sirac leaving. I'm not going to offer any players out. If anybody moves, it's going to be because other teams are coming in asking for them. So, an interesting transfer window, a head-scratching transfer window, a frustrating transfer window. So, par for the course as transfer windows go, I suspect. We've still got a ton of money in the bank. I suspect the summer transfer window, I may actually shell out a decent amount of money for a player. I think the $14 million I paid for Agosto is the most money I've paid for a player in the save, which 10 years in, when you got 90 million euros in the bank, is frankly kind of cool if you ask me. It means we haven't gone out and spent 100 million euros on the one player who might be able to change things for us and just, totally doesn't. So, but Neymar's retired, so he's not available to do that anymore. I think a top 4 finish is still good. I would love to advance a little bit further in the Champions League. My understanding is, and I could be entirely wrong here, if we lose to Bayern Munich, we drop down to the Europa League. You know what? I can check. I'm going to check a couple things out here real quick. Neymar retired 3 years ago. Okay. Champions League. So, we're playing Bayern, Milan's playing Man City, Hoffenheim is playing Barcelona, Borussia Dortmund is playing Juve, Schalke and Chelsea are playing, Benfica and PSG are playing, Inter is playing Liverpool, and Valencia is playing Napoli. So, rules. Winners qualify for the quarterfinal. Okay, and then I think if we lose, we go to the second knockout round. I could be entirely wrong, though. It's just been one of those things. Plus, it's late. I'm not exactly thinking straight. So, that said, if you did like what you've seen and heard, please leave a like. Subscribe to the channel for more content, questions, criticisms, comments. Leave those down below. I will answer those as fast as I can. I am FM20, and I thank you for watching.